Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? It took me a second for some reason, like it was not letting me like start the stream, so had to figure something out. We have Gertie here. She's making herself very comfortable. This should be a really fun one because we're just chatting. It's going to be nice and relaxing. And my gosh, do I ever have a ton of things to say. So, the Lord Fish. So, hello from Germany, Germany. Jackie, hello in Alberta, Canada. Hello. Let's see. Jordan, hello from France. Thank you guys for staying up. The people that are staying up late. Oh, got a clock going. Let's see. Hello from Sweden. Hello, Eleanor. I love that name. It's one of my favorites. Denise in Ohio. Hello. Okay. Hannah in Norway. We see Finland. Oh my gosh. Everyone's from everywhere today. And hello from Pennsylvania. Hello, Pauline. Oh, Paulina. Sorry. Okay, so where do we begin? Let's start by making some hot cocoa. I found this little vintage set at a thrift store or an antique store, and the guy told me it wasn't terribly expensive. And he was like, just so you know, these are really, really expensive if you go and try to find them. Verena, hello from Austria. Hello. Anyway, so I bought it. I think it was like $50-ish, something like that. And then I got home and I was like, well, like, let's see how much they are. And I Googled them. I saw one for like $600. So I think I got a steal. I don't know why they're so expensive. It's like a really simple kind of pottery. So I've got, I think it's almond milk that's been simmered and heated. And I'm just going to pour this into my mug and hopefully not make a giant mess. And I did make a giant mess. And then I've got this, I think it's Fortnum and Mason, the ultimate hot chocolate. It's a Piccadilly something. I don't know. It sounded really fancy. Hello, Izzy from Toronto. Hello. And Mel's from Texas. Hello. It's the most fun thing that like Belgium, like everyone, it's really, really fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay. I'm going to open this up. And, you know, reasonable people, I'm sure. Kristen in Maryland. Hello. Reasonable people, I'm sure, just put like a little bit. But I put a lot of it. 3. Don't judge me. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Mina. So Professor Poof has shown up. I wasn't sure. He's kind of become my little buddy lately. He's been very, very friendly. Okay. And now you have to have some whipped cream. So you stir this. So this is, it's Ready Whip, non-dairy, coconut milk. And what I will tell you about these, you stay away from the candles. We talked about that in the last live stream. We have found out that poof is flammable. So anyhow, so the thing with these like dairy-free whips is that they're hit or miss, and some of them are duds. Like they actually just don't work. I don't know what that's about, but you put a little whipped cream in there. That was kind of a lot of it for this little tiny cup. And then I like to take another little bit of the chocolate. Oh, I'm just going to sprinkle that over. And it just makes it so like pretty and special looking. Okay. All right. Sarah from Canada, Ontario, Canada. Hello. Okay. So what's going on? What all do we have to cover? First, so if you tuned into the last live stream, you might have noticed that it kind of like ended abruptly. And I didn't I didn't quite like understand what was happening. I was freezing to death in that last live stream. I was so cold, like I was shaking, and I was just, it was miserable. So thank you for tuning into that one. That was one of the It was the worst one I've ever done. And it was because I was so cold. Oh, Poof, hello. Okay. Tell us about the puppy. Arthur Button. I don't see him yet. He will show up. He's never terribly far away. He's a holy terror. Oh my gosh. We've got, okay, let's see. Button. Come here. Arthur Buttons. What do you guys think of his name? It's the most ridiculous name on earth. Button. Let's see. Okay, we're having trouble getting his attention. He's like enamored with an ice cube that's fallen on the floor. Okay, so before the camera started, the captive released him and he ran over here and was just like a little cartoon puppy. And now he's just like completely not interested. So I don't know what that is about. It is what it is. He will make his appearance. So why is Arthur Buttons here? We can talk about that. Oh, well, I can nap you. Hello. Hello. How are you doing? He likes to chew hair, so that's kind of look at him. Let's see if we can get him to say hi. Oh my God, he's so cute. I'm really a cat person, if I'm being honest. I love dogs. They are so sweet and wonderful. I just like cats more. Okay. Are you choking to death? Okay. He's like a little kid, and he is constantly trying to kill himself. So while Poof is trying to set himself on fire, this one he ran into the freezer yesterday or the day before, and so why is he here? Gertie has been so lonely and depressed since we moved here because at the old house, there were a few dogs that had we had like a neighboring fence, and these dogs would play with her through the fence. They would just sort of like look at each other and bark, and she kind of had this companionship. And so lately she just has seemed so sad. And so I've been talking about maybe doing something like this forever because I don't know. I need another pet. Like I need a hole in my head, but anyhow, so I decided you can't really bring like an adult, I would love to have rescued like an older dog, but from my childhood, I had something bad happen where somebody with like a older rescue was brought in and there were cats and something bad happened. So I was like, you can't really bring like an adult dog that it hasn't been around cats into a house with cats. So a puppy was the only way to go. And that's why he's here. And so I was thinking Gertie's going to love him. They're all going to get along and that will make her happy and they'll run off and live their own little happy life. And that's just not at all what's happened. Essentially, he harasses Gertie constantly. He's molesting Archimedes every chance he gets, and Professor Poof despises him. So it's anytime you introduce a new family member, there is a phase that, okay, Poof and fire. You don't like fire, don't you remember? I mentioned this in the last live stream. Poof's missing. Like, his tail should go to there. And it's not there anymore. So, we're keeping Poof away from candles. Okay, what about Werewolf? What do you think? Werewolf, my little black kitty? She hates him so much. So if that sounds chaotic, it is chaotic. It's going to be chaotic for a little while, and then it'll calm down. They've already, Gertie and the Buttons have already started playing together a little bit. So I'm crossing my fingers this all works out. Puppies are so delicate, so they scare me. I'm always very nervous around them. Okay, hello from Wyoming. Hello. Okay, I have a lot of things to talk about. I've been like adding to this list as I go because it's just the best thing you can do if you want to like not forget anything. Okay, let's see. How are you guys doing? How was your Christmas and every other holiday celebrated? I hope it was wonderful for everybody. I'm going to have an eye surgery next month. Okay, I should probably drink some of this. If I can. I made it nice and messy. Is there snow outside? No. I don't know what's happening. It's been raining a lot. And I'm going to give away a little bit of I shouldn't. I had to use snow footage from last year in this year's episodes just to like pull off the charade. So it looks horrid outside. It'll turn around, I'm assuming. But yeah, no snow. There was like a smattering of snow on Christmas, which was nice. So it was white-ish looking on Christmas. Jen said we've had a little bit, but it's raining right now. Yeah, it's going to be raining all day tomorrow. It's going to be like 48 degrees. So I don't know what's going on. This is only my second time here. So my second winter. Okay, so what are we talking about? Like I said, there's a lot to cover. And I have to I've made this big list. So I'm going to pick out what I'm going to do. Should we talk about upcoming projects? Because my gosh, do I have a few? Okay, let's see. Let's start with the episode coming for the month of January. It's going to be a 2-part episode. And because of what I'm doing, I'll explain to you what I'm doing. The sitting room across from me, so I'm in the parlor, the sitting room over there, they 100 years ago painted over the original wallpaper that was in that room. And I'm going to be using paint stripper and peeling off a gigantic section of the wall because you can't salvage it. It is ruined. I'm not going to do what I did in the dining room. But I'm going to take off a big section. I'm going to reveal what is under it because I have an idea, but I don't have the full picture. And I'm going to photograph it, get it into my computer, and do a whole design where I'm not going to perfectly replicate it because I want it to be my own a little bit, but the colors and the essence of it are going to be what is original to the room. And then I'm going to have that wallpaper printed and I'm going to install it. So this episode is going to end at me designing it. So stripping, designing, and sending off to the printer because I'm going to send it to a couple different print shops so that I can get a few options back so I can know this is the right one. And that's going to take some time. So January is going to be the beginning of that room. And anytime you tackle a room, they're huge. So it's not you can't pull off a room here in a month. It just doesn't work out. So my gosh, I'm getting winded. Once I have this design, I'm going to make it available for sale. So it's going to be one of those things that you guys, if you like it, what I do, and I'm going to keep doing that around the house where I'm designing my own sort of thing. And you guys will be able to purchase these and do them in your own house if you like them. So it's kind of the beginning of something really fun and exciting. So look forward to that. Do you have to tape off all the woodwork? Totally. Because paint stripper is massively corrosive, obviously, and the wood around here is, it's lacquered in something. I think I've been told it's like antique beeswax or something like that. So we don't want to mess anything like that up. And I'm not saving so what's going to happen is I'm going to reveal a whole section and then I'm going to have to smooth the edges so it's perfectly smooth. And then this wallpaper is going to go over that. So 200 years in the future, somebody might be able to do something to restore it or just find out what it is. And I'll be revealing that in the episode as well. But I don't know. I don't want to strip it away if it's been there that long. So that's what's going on. So that's that project. Okay, this thing is like leaking all over the place. Oh my God, it's so tasty. I love hot chocolate. Okay, let's see. Is the top peak of the house a later priority? Let's talk about that. So I have said this house I really think needs a new roof. It's a slate roof. It's the original slate roof, and slate roofs last like 80 to 100 years, and this has been on here 160 years. So I have contacted several people. I'm within the next couple days, hopefully, a man is coming from Syracuse to come and inspect what's going on and talk about like giving me a quote for having new slate done over the entire roof and it would be matching the original color and pattern and everything. So I have a limit to how much I'm willing to spend on that. And I'm praying that his quote comes back underneath that, because you have to be smart. You can't like obviously spend what you spent on the house to just do the roof. So I'm optimistic that that's going to work out. And if it does, it's going to be done, I think, in spring. And I'm not obviously doing it, but I will film what they're doing and document that whole process so you guys can see how that goes. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Does she play video games? I don't. You know what? I can't get into video games. I don't know. I want to. I wish I could. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I've sat down. The captive is into video games and he loves it. And I'll sit and I'll try. And I don't know. It just, for one, I don't like fighting anything. I just like, I would love discovering. If they made video games where you're just like, you get in like a rocket ship and you go out into the universe and you just discover things, or they recreated like a virtual tour of the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean, I would be into that. So yeah. I can't do video games either. It's, you like reading. It's nothing to put down because it's a source of entertainment. And if you're ever not into a source of entertainment, you should almost be sad, because obviously it's bringing joy to people. And I think if you can derive joy from as many different kinds of hobbies as possible, you're probably going to be happier and more excited about new things that come out. Okay. Let's, someone said No Man's Sky is exactly that. Okay. I'm gonna, don't go away. Stop commenting, everyone. I hope I got that. I got it. Okay. You have to take pictures of stuff, otherwise you. Okay. Hello. Christmas was really fun. We got our booster shot the day before Christmas Eve, and so we were kind of sick for Christmas Eve and kind of leaking into Christmas. And so we did that, and then a bunch of family back home in California has gotten COVID even with their vaccine. So that's the whole thing, but nobody's gotten super sick, which I think is what they do. But my gosh, I'm sure everybody knows somebody right now who actively has it if you don't have it yourself. So I hope everyone's doing okay on that front. Do you have a plan for the garden in 2020? I do. I'm going to keep that a secret. I have a plan for the landscaping, but yes. Oh my God, this is so good. Can you guys hear the grandfather clock? Yes, you actively have COVID right now. I don't even know what's going on, but all I know is that the people who seem to be vaccinated, nobody's getting super crazy sick. So let's talk about happy things. There's enough like, all of that. Okay. So let me see. Let me refer. Tinsel on the tree. I'm not going to do that again. It causes me too much stress. I did it and I knew it was dangerous. And then I started looking it up like afterward. And it's like kind of really dangerous for your pet. So pretty as it is, I'm happy I've done it once. I won't do it again because of the danger. But it's so pretty. If you don't have pets, I would just cover your tree in tinsel. Let's see. How are the cats with your Christmas tree? Werewolf goes right up into it, which is what she likes to do. Archimedes is too plus size to even consider any kind of like acrobatics. So he just sort of wanders around and he's not capable of that. And then Poof is not really, I don't know, he's not built for tree climbing. So it's really just the one. Let's see. Someone said tinsel is gorgeous, but he used it once and never again because it was so messy. It's like all over the place. I don't even know how it must grab a hold of like little bits of you and then follow you off. So if seeds could be spread like tinsel spreads, everything would. Is it germinated? Is that the wrong word? I don't know. Ooh, let's talk about words. I am trying to learn French. I mean, I downloaded Duolingo and I started trying to it's going well, but I mean it's teaching me at like a toddler's pace. But I want to, there's a couple things. I've never been to Paris or anywhere around there, so I would really love to go there and be able to like speak a little bit. I have realistic expectations of what this is going to achieve. Bonjour. See, I know that one. Hello. But also we're really close to Canada and I think is it Quebec? You guys will know, I won't. But I know some people speak French up there and it's a really beautiful language. And if it goes well, I would really, really love to learn Spanish and German. But we'll see. I have really limited expectations of French, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Has anyone actually used Duolingo and accomplished being able to like fluently speak a language, or is it just kind of a jumping off point to learn? I don't know. Christina said no one wants to learn Italian. It hadn't even occurred to me. I mean, there's a million languages you can learn. Don't you really you have to go to Italy to speak to people in Italian, right? See, Spanish is nice, if I remember this correctly, and please don't, tie me to a stake and burn me. But if you speak Spanish, am I wrong in thinking that you can semi-communicate with Italian people? I could be way wrong on that, so don't, like I said. I was told that, I think, when I was 21, and I've just I put it away in my brain as being a fact, and I have no way to back up if that's a fact or not. Romance languages, that's what I think. I love, was it Inglourious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino? The beautiful blonde girl who's like speaking French and she does all of this crazy stuff. That's kind of like oh my gosh, if I could speak anything like that. Ah, someone said correct. We are Mexican and my sister is in Italy. It translates easily. Okay. Sometimes the first time you learn something, it's true. Okay, what else? Do you guys want to hear a ghost story? Because they're the most like anticlimactic ghost stories, but they happen. And I was telling my mom, what happens basically is nothing will happen for a long time. So long that when you start thinking about you're like, did that even really happen? Or am I just making things up and filling in blanks or something like that? Or is whatever happened attributable to something else, something like, I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying, I hope. But 2 nights ago, so we lost our little kitty Sergeant a year ago, 2 days ago. And he passed away suddenly. He had like a heart failure and he just was everything was fine, and then he was just gone. It was really traumatic. Um, and I was sitting in bed, right, like 5 feet away from a door where he died, like right in a doorway. And I was sitting there, and I think I was listening to an audiobook, and all of a sudden the door opened, and it didn't open like far. It just opened like, but it opened intentionally. It seemed like two, and it wasn't like a click, like, you know how sometimes doors will just open. It was like it opened. And just when I turned my head to, like, I was having a heart attack because the captive was somewhere totally different, the television turned on. I'm not making this up. And that's the end of the story. I don't know what that's about. I don't think it was anything interesting on TV, but those two things happening like instantly together, like, I don't know, what are the odds of something like that happening? That doesn't sound right at all. So, and Grant said he thought he had seen like a cat where there were no cats in the house, like I think last week. So, like I said, nothing will happen. And then something so bizarre will happen that you're like, I can't, there's no drafts in the house really. So, and even if you could figure out like a reason for why that door opened on its own, why would the TV turn on? I don't know. These are just things that happen. Okay. Let's see. Christine, come back. I'm here. Hi. Okay. The ghost is, oh no, is it chipping out? Let's see. Can you guys hear me okay? Are we having like a technical issue? Sometimes it does that. Let's see. Refresh your page if it's doing something funny. Sometimes they do that. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Yay. All right. What else do we have to talk about? Let's see. I contacted my doctor about a rabies vaccine. I don't know. I don't know how fascinating that is. But when we were filming the candle episode, like a bat like flew by my head and I felt like my hair move. And I've heard a lot of people just say you can get the rabies vaccine. Like, so anyway, I emailed my doctor and told her the whole, like exactly what happened. And she just said, so we would classify that as like, now I'm not going to sound smart because I don't remember what she said exactly, but essentially the gist of it was, you don't need the vaccine. You'll be fine. If you have any kind of obvious, like a real interaction, you need to immediately go do that. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of following what my doctor's saying, so hopefully she's not. If in the next live stream I'm like foaming at the mouth and like attacking things, you can say I told you so. Do the bats ever leave the house at night? Totally. Like they're mainly in the attic and in the walls. You hear them in the walls all the time. So we got the antique bathtub working. Was that working when we last saw each other? This 160-year-old bathtub. Like people were taking baths in it in the 1860s. It's working. It's the original faucets. And I've been able to like soak and enjoy. It's the most gorgeous bathroom you've ever seen in your life. It's like it's like being on the Titanic or something. I keep talking about the Titanic because I'm listening to an audiobook about the Titanic. I'll tell you what it is. It's really good. It's called The Ship of Dreams, and it's fantastic. I'm listening to it on Audible. It's really, really great. So anyway, this bathroom, when we first moved in, the faucet would just not budge at all. And then we had somebody tell us, you can do like spray this like degreasery sort of thing, because like these are really antique looking like faucets. And I found some old paperwork that said all of this old hardware and faucetry, is that a word? Was originally silver plated. So it's really delicate and old. So anyway, spoiler alert, the ship sinks in the end. You're not wrong. Um, anyway, so this bathroom, it's this glossy white ornate tile all around the walls and the ceiling. So I go in there and I light a bunch of candles so it feels like it's the past. And I just take like a bubbly bath in there, and the candlelight is like glittering off the walls because they're shiny. It's really magical. Should I make an episode where I just take a bath? I don't know. You guys might like it. I have like a whole ritual of how I do it, but I don't know if that's interesting enough. But baths are the most fun thing. I love them. And Professor Poof loves keeping me company. We built the Titanic here in Belfast. Hello, Sarah. That's so neat. Does anyone know if they do like I wish they did like a Titanic cruise where everyone got to get dressed up and take you out on the ocean and crash, and then I'm joking. But that would be so fun if you could do that. Okay, hold on. Let me refresh myself. We need a tour of the bathroom. Maybe I could make an episode of just like cleaning that bathroom really good, because it could still, I've cleaned it, but it could use a really thorough cleaning. And then maybe just like finish it with like a whole, like how I take a bath. Would that be fun? I would really enjoy that. I don't know if that's interesting enough, but let's see. In Melbourne, Australia, you guys have a Titanic dinner theater experience? I love that. I love the movie Titanic. I love anything about it. It's something about it is very fascinating to me and to a lot of people, I think. Okay, let me go back to my list. It's such a big list. I'm not even sure if I'll get through everything. Okay, let's see. Ooh, flooring. So in this sitting room over here, so somebody originally, what did they do? So there's this original wallpaper, and then underneath that, somebody painted it like a caramel color or some sort of a taupe-ish kind of color. And then they painted it a powder blue, I think in the 30s, 40s, something around that time. And they also put in this blue carpet, which it probably looked beautiful when they did it, but it looks horrible now. So the carpet's got to go. So part of doing that room is I think I'm going to have some gentlemen come in and redo the floor in there. So that's going to be part of the episode. So it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be a big undertaking, kind of like the dining room was. And because I don't know how long it will take me to get prints of the designs that I make, there's a possibility that the January episode will be the beginning of this project, and then I'll tackle something else for the month of February and then finish it in March. We'll see how it plays out. But I just want you guys to know what to look forward to. Do you guys have any questions? I can answer some questions before I get back to this. Are the cleaning products today too harsh for your home? There's some I wouldn't use, but then there's some that are fantastic. If you guys ever have like old porcelain or something, there's something called Barkeeper's Friend. If you've ever used Comet to try to get stains out of like enameled porcelain or something like that, Barkeeper's Friend is mind-bogglingly good. So check that out if you haven't. Lampshade episode. That's totally going to happen. But I said it's going to be a few episodes. So maybe, like I said, if this, what happens? If this wallpaper thing kind of extends and I need like a filler episode in between that, maybe I'll tackle a lampshade. Let's see. Do you do any quilting? No. And that's because I'm constantly like working, and quilting seems like a good, like therapeutic kind of, but I imagine it takes a lot of time, and I don't have any of that. So, but it would be really fun. Do you watch any other YouTubers that are restoring Victorians? Any recommendations? There is this pretty girl. I'm going to open YouTube and see what it shows up. It's been recommending her stuff to me a lot lately. And of course it won't right now. But she's a pretty blonde girl in Europe. She's in France. Oh, I found it. It's called How to Renovate a Chateau. Somebody here sent me a link to her doing like a wallpaper restoration. And that was like the beginning. And then I got kind of sucked in, and I do like her channel a lot. Okay. Do you ever get in a creating slump? And if so, no. And I might have said this before. I never ever run out of ideas. I run out of time to pull them off. And my greatest sadness about life is you get better as you get like more experienced. And if I could live like 500 years, my gosh, who knows how good I could get at stuff. But I continually get better at things, and I get more interested in new things. And the way creativity works for me is it kind of builds on itself. But I will tell you, coming up with quick, simple things, I do really struggle with. So I can come up with the most complicated, like difficult projects you can ever imagine off the top of my head. I can just list them off. But if you say, what's a quick little thing? Those are the ones that stump me. And I have to spend like a lot of time evaluating and thinking about, because putting a unique kind of clever twist on something simple is a lot harder than just doing something complicated and hard. I hope that makes sense. What is the captive doing right now? I don't know. I haven't checked his cell in a while. I don't hear anything, so I think he's fine. Okay. Let's see. I love the complicated projects. Those are my favorite. The only thing is, if I could go back and reset how I did Patreon, I might have set it up to do a per project, because I mean, there's really nothing wrong with breaking them into multiple month projects, which does work if you guys don't mind. But like, a lot of the projects I want to do take so long that I find myself like scrambling to pull them all together at the end. But if there was no timetable, it would be like, I think, a lot more exciting. Have you actually used the dress form yet? No, but I have fantastic plans. Somebody said plans for that tree now. So do you guys like the tree? Isn't it fun? I do have a plan, and I want to impart this plan on all of you. If you have a real tree, when this is dried out and finished, and it's time to, be taken out of the house, I'm going to cut down everything until I just have the spine. What do you call that? The trunk. And I'm going to cut it into several pieces, and I'm going to let it dry out over this next year. And then next Christmas, I want to make a tradition out of making a special ornament out of the trunk. And so if I keep doing that every year, this will be like the first that I'm going to do that. I just think it's really, isn't that a neat idea that you can have an ornament that like you'll mark what year the tree is from? I don't know. I think it seems really fun. So you don't mind multi-month projects? Okay, that's very good for me. So thank you. Okay, let's see. Did you make vegan hot cocoa? I sort of did. This Fortnum and Mason. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of dairy in it, a little bit, not much. But I have yet to research and find like a completely plant-based. I kind of live by the rules of, I really don't buy anything that has dairy in it. And and I'm pretty good about that. But if something like just randomly has traces of something in it, like I'm not gonna like, it's not gonna be the hill that I die on, basically. Okay. How was Christmas with your mom? It wasn't. She's back in California, but I think we didn't FaceTime, but we talk all the time. We talk multiple times every single day. When I go get that eye surgery, in case you guys are just first hearing about this, I have a pterygium, which is something that happens to people that live in sunny climates. And it's got to be like fixed because it's like messing with my vision in this eye. Things are starting to like get blurred. And so I have to go to California next month and have this surgery. So in this episode, I'm going to try to do it all before I go to do that. And then my mom's going to come with me. I'm going to meet her. This is all assuming I know like flights are getting canceled left and right. So I'm hoping I can pull this off. But yeah, so I don't remember what the question was, but I kind of just like ran off on a tangent. Let's see. I want to live in a sunny. So I'm very excited about going to California to escape this right now because I've said this is the most beautiful place on earth, in my opinion, from May to December. And then I don't have a lot of, I'm not super enamored with January through April because it's kind of icky looking. But I think it's a little bit icky everywhere looking, but it's cold and everybody warned me. Everybody was like warned me about like you can get seasonal affective disorder, and I totally do. So I need to get a SAD lamp, a SAD lamp, because everyone says that they do wonders. So that's going to be something I'm looking into. Do you ever miss the old house? I don't. I miss, the captive and I were literally running off a list of what are the things we like and dislike here, and what are the things that we liked and disliked at the mountain house. And some of the things that we ran off at the mountain house was like in winter, because it got very wintry there, very similar to here. It just didn't get as cold. If you could get down the mountain, suddenly it was summer again because you're in Southern California. And here, there's nowhere you can go because it's just like this all over the place. So that's one of the things that I do kind of miss about that area. Is the captive from California as well? He's from Dayton, Ohio. So he's the one who was warning me about seasonal affective disorder and all of that. So yes, he's very well versed in it. The tree. Oh my gosh. I wish I could keep this tree like this. This tree is, oh wait, Michelle said Highway 18 is closed indefinitely. That's back at the mountain house. There was like this one highway to get up to the mountain. And it did close if the weather got kind of bonkers. Do you stay up till midnight on New Year's? I love holidays. I'm really into them. And there is just a couple that I don't care about at all. And I don't care about the 4th of July, and I don't care about New Year's Eve or New Year's. I don't know. Whatever it is, they don't call to me. So I'd stay up till midnight usually. So if I am, it'll be one of those, I like vaguely go, hey, it's midnight. And the captive will go, huh? And that's going to be our New Year's Eve. I hate Valentine's Day. That's another one. I've done some cool things for Valentine's Day. I'm probably not going to do anything for Valentine's Day this year. Just so you guys know, episode wise, I'm going full into restoring mode. And that's kind of what I want to focus on right now. So yeah, any plans for the kitchen? Let's talk about the kitchen. Get another sip really quick. I might need your guys' help here. I want to do the kitchen this year as well. So basically like a ton of stuff is happening hopefully this year. I want to do landscaping stuff. I want the roof done. I want some floor stuff done, and I want that kitchen done. The only issue is, do you guys know of a really great contractor that does like Victorian-ish like kind of things? Because I've got a whole plan of what I'm going to do. And I'm in the market right now looking for a contractor to do this job. So if anybody knows somebody who does that and like that's kind of what they do, I'd love to hear about it because it's kind of hard finding a good contractor. So how I'm doing this is I'm going to actually design the kitchen in a 3D model, like an actual miniature. And that's going to be an episode coming up at some point in this year. And then I'm going to show that to a contractor and say, this is what I want. This is should all look exactly like this. It's going to be really fun. And wait till you see the plan I have for this kitchen, because it's not going to look like really anything you've seen before. And at the same time, it's going to look old fashioned and familiar. So you should really like it. If you like Disneyland at all, you will like it a lot. I think I need to make a little bit more. Although I did put quite a bit of chocolate in that, so maybe I just need to stir this a little bit. You guys should be excited to see the kitchen. It's gonna be, it's such a piece of crap right now. And when you see what it's gonna look like, it's gonna be really great. Where did you get this? I got the Santa set at an antique store. Let's see. Do you guys have any other questions? Let me check my list and see what else I've got going on in here. Oh, this is a big one. I will be opening the upper tiers January 1st. So, and I don't know how long they'll be open, but for the annual card and the annual small gift, that will be opening up on January 1st. So I'm announcing that so you guys are aware. And then if you are currently in the $40 tier, you are going to be getting something, but I posted about it and we talked about it, that there was a little bit of a production delay because of everything. And that is an amazing, once that gift is finalized and sent out, which I think it's going to take a minute, I will be posting about what that is, and it's awesome. So look forward to that. Okay. What was the upper tier gift? I can't say. It's a surprise. Let me see. I was thinking I should talk about, like, I don't know if this is going to be interesting to you, but kind of what has happened the last year, because that is kind of what people do. They reflect on, you know, the year that's passed. And I'm very much like, I live in the moment a lot, and I live in like a lot of stress because I'm constantly like doing stuff and trying to make sure everything's wonderful. And sometimes I stop and I look back and I'm like, sometimes looking back and looking at what you've done makes you feel better about just things. And so what have I done this year? We did the dining room. That was massive and amazing. What else did we do? When I wasn't right on camera, I had like this whole big list. I turned 40, which was awesome, and I like it. The clock got fixed. Thanks to Rachel Kilgore coming all the way from Alabama to mend it. We've done so much work in the house. We got this bathroom going. We got guest bedrooms done. We did the dress form. How long was I talking about doing a dress form before it happened? And it came out glorious. I love it so much. We did movie nights. We had some people over from Patreon. We had Suzanne over from Patreon. We did that fun contest. We will be doing another contest in 2022. I have yet to have it figured out, but it's going to be fun. And we did the portrait with the eyeballs. It's like, if you start going down this list, we made like a plant-based cake. We did a whole photography episode. It's It's a lot if you start actually thinking about it. And I was telling my mom, the candles. Something I love about doing this as like a career is when I get older, I get to like, it's like a frozen moment in your life. And I get to like revisit the pets that were with me at a certain time. And I don't know, it's a really fun thing to do. So I'm really just grateful and very, very happy right now. I'm just sharing that. I don't know if that's interesting. Oh, and the gingerbread is my favorite. How do you guys like the gingerbread man tree topper? Because I love him. Somebody suggested this. I think it was one of you guys. I'm not putting him away when Christmas is over. I'm going to encase him in a glass thing and have him propped up so I can see him all year round because he's so much fun. And sometimes when you put something away, like even with the best intentions, something bad can happen to it. So I'm just going to put it in like a fun little like case so I can admire him. Let's see. Do you have a Krampus themed Christmas project for next year? I have an idea. It's not quite Krampusy themed, but not either. So, but it's a surprise. I'm not going to say anything because how's Chauncey? He's wonderful. In case you guys don't know, Chauncey is the evil Victorian doll that lives in a bird cage. He's right over there. And yes, he has not caused any mischief since he was put in this cage. He's in like a bed of salt underneath him. And then I got someone sent me this magical little black glass spider that keeps him in line. Okay. I love the idea of recapping the year. It's such a good thing to do because whether you acknowledge it or not, and depending on what your achievements are, you've achieved things. Like things have moved in a better direction almost always. So you should always keep stock of the things that you've accomplished that you wanted to. I think it's important. What is your most favorite Christmas gift this year? Mom, don't get mad at me if my mom's watching because she got me some really cool stuff. The captive got me a tea kettle that it whistles and it makes the old fashioned sound. And I love it. I don't know why. For some reason, it's my most favorite thing that I got. So for Christmas, it's kind of funny. I love doing stuff for other people, and then I'm not so preoccupied with getting anything. So this was a year that I got a bunch of people like really fun things, and I was just so excited to see what they thought of them. Should we talk about favorite things? I can't talk about favorite things because this is something I forgot to do. I was going to have a little basket with my favorite things. Dang it. Well, I will mention Velvet Apparition sent me, I think she's a patron, sent me her stuff. And if you Google that, you can find out what she does. It's those letter, like when you do wax sealing on a letter, she sent me this beautiful set. And you guys should look that up if you're interested, because there was like a spider web and like, I think it was a bat. So it was amazing. But yeah, I had a whole list of things. Leslie sent me a Christmas wreath and it had an owl on it and it's so cute. It's in the den, Leslie, so I can see it all the time. I'm trying to think. Have you sewn anything off camera? No, I haven't. I really need to kind of restage a sewing area. And so we'll see if that happens this year. I make no promises. But I'm excited. I do plan in this next year to hopefully make some spring dresses and then possibly even make a big grand Christmas dress, but don't hold me to that because sometimes, like I said, I've got a lot planned for this year and I don't want to oversaturate. I don't know. That's not, you know what I'm saying. I think my throat is giving way. Okay. Well, you will be seeing more sewing content for sure. Let's see. Emily is saying the Halloween wreath. I got the most amazing Halloween wreath too. It hung out on my door the entire fall season after I'd received it. Do you have your projects mapped out? No, and that's because I have like a whole gigantic ocean that I could just pluck from at any time. And you kind of have to play it by how things span out. So if I like organize too much, I would just be upset that it wouldn't go that way at all. But I do have, did you restore that couch? This couch came with the house and it's been in the house since 1860, since the 1860s. So it's an original piece. It was reupholstered, I think in the 50s. I could be wrong about that. But no, it came with the house and it's very, very nice. How much does it cost to heat your house? A lot. It's a lot because we're doing like a boiler and there's like a forced air thing and I'm never cold in here, I will say that. So it's effective. Did you make the candles you're burning? I didn't. That's a very messy. Well, and I set it up in the attic and after I had like a brush with death with a bat, I got a little bit nervous and it's ice cold up there. So maybe when the weather kind of balances out a little bit, I'll get back to making candles. Are any of your fireplaces usable? Does it look like it? Because if you look, like right here, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Do you guys want to see something I've done? No is the answer. If I wanted to burn the house down, I could light a fire in the fireplaces. They need to be like addressed with like professionals that come in and kind of redo their little inserts and make sure the chimney is perfectly lined. But that doesn't mean I don't want it to look like there's a fire going on. So stay with me for just one moment. I'll walk all the way around and try not to set myself on fire. But this is how I'm doing that. One of those. Doesn't it look real? So let me waddle back over here. Okay. So that's how I'm doing that. And by the way, in all the fireplaces, I have a bunch of the battery operated ones of those. And then I've stacked up wood and like kindling around it. So it looks kind of fireplacey. So yeah, on that preposterous note, we're going to wrap up next month. Look forward to the wallpaper. I'm going to have an eye surgery. So we're going to see if I still have an eyeball. I shouldn't joke about that. So stay tuned. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very, very soon.